Have you ever felt that a certain encounter in your life was more than mere coincidence? As if a silent force was conspiring to cross your path with certain people at such precise moments that it gives you chills. Carl Jung called this synchronicity, the secret language of the universe, where events align not by chance but through a deeper meaning. What if these signs were clues left just for you? Some connections arise with an intensity that defies logic. You meet someone and suddenly, the world starts to make sense, as if all the pieces of your life's puzzle finally fit together. These moments are not random. They are invitations from the universe, calling you to a path of discovery. But are you paying attention? What lies behind these fated encounters? Jung believed that the collective unconscious, a universal memory we all share, guides our choices and attracts people who reflect parts of ourselves. When the universe wants you to be with someone, it doesn't knock on your door, it whispers. And you, are you listening? This is the first sign. Because life doesn't happen to you, but through you. And what if that person who crossed your path carried a hidden message, a lesson, a healing, or a mirror of what your soul needs to face? The journey begins here. Are you ready to decode the signs? Synchronicity, the secret alphabet of destiny. Some coincidences carry more weight than others. You randomly open a book and a sentence jumps out at you, answering exactly the question that's been haunting your mind. A stranger makes a comment that echoes your most intimate thoughts. These are not accidents. They are encrypted messages, bridges between your inner world and the universe around you. Carl Jung revealed that behind these seemingly casual events lies an intelligent pattern. When time, place, and people align, in an inexplicable way, we are facing synchronicity, the phenomenon that turns mere encounters into preordained meetings. It's not magic. It's the soul's language manifesting in reality. Think of the last time something unexpected changed your path. Maybe a delay that kept you from an accident, or a casual conversation that sparked an epiphany. These moments are like invisible compasses, guiding you toward connections that accelerate your evolution. The universe doesn't shout. It whispers through details that only make sense in hindsight. Synchronicity doesn't exist to prove anything. It invites. It calls on you to pay attention to the invisible threads that weave your story. When you begin to decipher these signs, you realize nothing arrives by chance. Everything is part of a silent dialogue between you and the cosmos. And the lingering question is, what are these coincidences trying to tell you? Projection. When love reveals who you really are. What you see in others says more about you than it does about them. That overwhelming love that came like a hurricane, turning an ordinary person into an almost divine figure. That's not magic, it's projection. Jung taught that our relationships act as mirrors, reflecting parts of ourselves we have yet to recognize. When we fall in love, we often don't love the real person, but the image we create of them. We assign heroic traits, extraordinary talents, or even flaws that deep down are ours. The person becomes a canvas onto which we paint our aspirations, fears, and unhealed wounds. This is the unconscious game we all play. But what happens when the illusion fades? The clash between projection and reality can hurt, but it also sets us free. Relationships are not just meant to make us happy, they're meant to make us aware. Every disillusionment is a chance to gather those projected pieces and reintegrate them into our own being. True intimacy begins when we stop seeking in others what is missing within ourselves. Mature love doesn't project, it recognizes. And in that recognition, we discover that the most important relationship has always been the one we have with our own soul. The shadow, the hidden gift in the depths. There is a part of you that has never seen the light of day. Your darkest fears, your forbidden desires, that anger you deny feeling. Jung called this the shadow, the secret repository of everything we reject in ourselves. But what if someone told you that your greatest treasure lies precisely in that dark place? Intense relationships act like emotional earthquakes, shaking the ground of our consciousness until these shadows emerge. That inexplicable irritation with your partner's behavior, The jealousy that appears out of nowhere, the attraction to someone you shouldn't want, all are messengers from your psyche, trying to show you what needs to be integrated. The paradox is fascinating. The more we run from these shadows, the more they control us. But when we face them with courage, we discover that they were hiding precious gifts, passion, creativity, vital strength. The person who irritates you the most is showing you exactly where you need to grow. This is the alchemy of true love, transforming the lead of our shadows into the gold of authenticity. There is no deep relationship without this plunge into your own depths. And when you finally embrace what you once feared, you discover the shadow was never a monster. It was just a part of you waiting to be loved, anima and animus, the sacred dance within you. Within every man lives a wise woman. Within every woman, a courageous man. Jung called these inner presences anima and animus, the bridges between our masculine and feminine aspects. When we fall in love, we are often seeing in the other the reflection of energies we have yet to embrace within ourselves. The man who desperately seeks a sensitive and creative partner may be projecting his own undeveloped anima. The woman drawn to men of action and determination may be seeing her dormant animus. These projections create electrifying relationships at first, but they can only endure when we recognize what we admire in the other already lives within us. True union happens when we stop seeking in the outer world what is missing in our inner. 1. Integrating anima and animus isn't about gender. It's about wholeness. It's the moment when the warrior learns to feel and the priestess discovers her strength. In this balance, a love is born that doesn't project, but celebrates. Individuation, becoming the masterpiece you already are. Life doesn't want you to be perfect, it wants you to be whole. Jung called this process individuation, the sacred journey where we stop being frightened fragments and become the totality we were always meant to be. Every relationship, every crisis, every moment of doubt is the universe's invitation to gather the forgotten pieces of ourselves. In our deepest bonds, we find not just love, but relentless mirrors. That annoying trait in your partner, that quality you so admire in someone else, all reveal parts of yourself waiting to be acknowledged. Relationships are not about finding your other half, but about using each connection as a tool to carve out your own completeness. When we stop searching outside for what can only be found within, something magical happens. We stop loving from lack and begin to love from overflow. Individuation is the art of turning relationships into portals, where every encounter, every conflict, every tender moment brings us closer to who we truly are. And in that recognition, we discover that the truest love has always been the one we give ourselves first. Authentic love versus idealized love, the fall and rebirth of the heart. The love that begins like a fairy tale rarely ends like one. The passion that makes us see the other as perfect is exactly what prevents us from seeing who is truly in front of us. That initial enchantment is not love, it's projection, a golden mirror where we reflect everything we wish to be, but have not yet dared to become. True love arises when the masks fall. When you stop demanding that the other fill your emptiness and start celebrating their presence as a gift, not a necessity. The difference is subtle but profound. A mature relationship doesn't promise eternal happiness, but offers mutual growth. Conflicts are not system failures. They are doors to real intimacy. Here's the secret few speak of. The love that's truly worth it is not the one that makes you float among the clouds, but the one that keeps you grounded while you learn to fly. It doesn't erase your shadows, but teaches you to dance with them. When you trade fantasy for truth, you discover that love was never about finding the right person. It was about becoming the ready one. Conclusion. The invitation that echoes. In the soul. Every meaningful encounter carries an encrypted message from the universe, but it's up to you to decipher it. The signs are everywhere. In the synchronicities that give you chills, in the conflicts that transform you, in that inexplicable attraction that defies logic. They don't point to the easiest path, but to the most transformative one. This journey is not about finding your external happily ever after, but about awakening what already exists within you. Relationships are sacred mirrors, revealing both your light and your shadow. When you stop looking for someone to complete you and start seeing yourself as whole, every love becomes a conscious choice, not a desperate need. The universe whispers, but you must be paying attention. Those accidental encounters, those connections that feel written in the stars, they're all invitations to dive deeper into yourself. The final question isn't whether destiny exists, but whether you have the courage to follow the signs it has left. The soul's journey continues, and every step is a revelation. Are you ready for the next turn in your story? Subscribe to the Key channel, leave a like, comment, and share with someone who needs to hear this message. Thank you, and see you in the next video.